Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. So much crap to get through today. It wasn't even funny. Let's use the time that we have the best. So, the number one thing that I want to just go through with you that I think is most important is going to be this chart. And you can equate it out to the Qs all you want, but you have to get through this level. And that level has been haunting us. So that level is pretty much everything. It's just pure bonk level. 1, 2, couldn't get to it. 3, couldn't get to it. 4, you kind of got to it this morning and you've already kind of rejected. So I think it's super important to watch that level and then watch how we act at that level. I think that is probably your most important, your most important level out of everything that I can see out there. And, the AMD is really pushing today. It's kind of crazy to me because they do this announcement yesterday and everybody could have bought this thing yesterday, down here. And now everybody's going to buy it, way up here. It's kind of nuts, but it's probably not gonna, it's probably not stopping anytime soon until it gets, up there. So, but you're constantly grinding, like constantly. So, maybe this thing pulls back a little bit and you get a shot at it, but tons of upgrades today because of what she said. And I'm always fascinated by this because she's always off, like always off on earnings, and then always says there's a reason for it. So, we'll see, but we'll see. We'll see how big demand really is out there for it. I know that we saw some news out of IBM today too. We should probably cover that. And I'm surprised that it's not getting picked up more candidly, but stuff like this, you can 100% continue to grind here and see what you do off the open. I mean, people that are short this just got absolutely hosed. So, and it's so interesting too, because you look at that chart and you look at how you closed and you would think that you're going to fall off a wall. And give me 1 second here. I want to just check something while I have it, while we're talking about it. But I think it's important. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, Yeah, that is interesting. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to check something else while I have it. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'd be super like, I'd be super careful with it off the open, but you did drop a lot. I don't know. I don't know that this thing's just going to miraculously lift the way everybody wants it to. So I have to see how that plays out today. So far, you just keep pushing, but let me see something here while we're talking about it. And you got right through that and you just keep grinding. So I don't know, maybe you're going to keep grinding, maybe it keeps grinding, but we'll see what happens. It just doesn't have that. It doesn't really seem to have that step, but I think it's the fact that so many people are short it because look, I mean, even when you broke down here, you can't even get below that level, So I definitely think there's something to that. When you have those levels and you can't get below it, like you always have to kind of pay attention to that. When you have those kinds of bars where they reverse already, you always kind of want to pay attention to what they're doing. So I do think that's super important. I do want to go back to the cues before we go any further. If you watch that area today and we have it all the way up here, let's go back to the 15 for time's sake, because I know I'm short on time today with you guys. If we go back to that level, like that's pretty much everything. If you watch the ES here and you look at the ES level, I think you're going to see something very, very similar. And, it's kind of hard to miss what's going on here between the volume profile and how you're hitting the high end of that. You flipped your VWAP, your peak VWAP and the low VWAP, but you're probably at the higher end of this range. So, you just might want to watch how this plays out. I think you have some stuff here that you really want to, you're really going to want to make sure that you get through. And I'm not so sure that it's going to be like that, that easy that you're just going to get right through it. You really struggled up here. So I don't know why I would think that, I don't know why I would think that you wouldn't struggle before. And to me, you would, right? You would continue to struggle in there. So I definitely think it's something of importance to watch. I think you'd be better off watching the indexes today than the individual names and then seeing how that goes. I really think that that's your best bet out of everything. I really do. When I go and take a look at it, I really think that's your best bet. Like looking at this stuff and going, all right, well, I don't know that I'm going to really get through those levels. And even if you go here and watch this, but wait, there's more. And you drop down like that peak VWAP, right? You can see that you're wrestling with it. And I'll jump it there too. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. Right. So you can kind of see what's going on here. So, you want to make sure that you get through, and then can I get through this as well? So you have some stuff there, some short-term stuff that I really think is, I think it's significant. So, I would definitely, pay attention to that. I do. I think it's super important. Give me 1 second here. 1 second. Thank you, little British guy. Oh, right. All right. So, that's kind of how I see it. And I think that's going to be everything. I'm going to go over names because I have time with you guys. I don't have a ton today, and I do want to get this out. I think you got 8 hours left before that is over. I think there's like 8 hours left on the people that got an invite into the room. And if you have issues getting in there, I'll put that list on the bottom. I'll put that email thing on the bottom. I think that you have to really focus on that. So I'm just going to put this down here so that people can see it, and then go from there. And then I think I'm going to try to do this. Remember to do this more. So you have AMD, IBM, Positive, Catalyst. So people will know if they come in to like kind of watch that. I think that's smart. Now we're going to see how we do without the bond offense. Okay, earnings are out. ON earnings are out. And I really think that that's really like your kind of driving force today. A lot of what I see out there, I don't think that there's a tremendous amount really to do out there right now. I think you're really better off watching how this plays out. So, and then seeing like, okay, we are going to hold, and then kind of going from there. I do think there's something to that, sure. And I think we're seeing that. So I think that's important. What else do I have that's like super, super important? Yep. Let's just go out there with that right now. Come on, British guy. You got it. I believe in you. You can do it. There you go. So I do think there's something, to those levels, and they're the big levels. Like they're the big ones. As far as everything else, what did I see yesterday that could add value today? I wasn't trading this. They were trading this in the room, and they did quite well with it. You are definitely seeing follow through in XBI today. There's no doubt about it, which lends hand to LABU, for one, clearly. And I think a lot of that has to do, with the new health secretary and the way that he's moving things around. He loves his mushrooms. So I'm surprised that these names aren't really lifting today. It's kind of interesting that they're not. But they're not. And we saw some of this stuff really start to benefit, like Lilly, and how Lilly's been acting, and some of these other names. And look at Amgen, for example. Like these things are just setting up to just rip your face off. So I'm not really sure that there's a whole heck of a lot to do there, except ride that wave. This thing's been basing for God, man. We've been basing for years, so it's probably party time there for biotech. When you start looking at that, I mean, it's crazy. Measured moves. We probably should look at that. What the measured move is. So first measured move's 390. It's the first stock I ever pitched as a broker. This thing's been around forever. Still remember the first drugs they came out with, Neupogen and Epigen. Back here, back in the day. Still going. What else is super interesting about that space? I would look at the ones that are coming out with new drugs. They seem to be getting a lot of the attention. You saw this yesterday, this breakout, right? So this thing, this is when the news hit. And then since that news hit in September, this thing's up 100%. We did a whole piece on this. I think we did that one public too, like the names that you want to buy. I own this. Not really doing much. I bought it when it broke. I think that's interesting. INSM, that continues to grind. That's probably going a lot higher. You're probably setting up the push there. So, that's definitely on the radar as well. These names have just been grinding over and over again, and I don't see any reason for, frankly, that to stop. I mean, once these things come out and they get their drugs and they get set up, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? And you can see how that works. Like there's very little to ever do with them once that starts to hit. That's what makes biotech so important. You get a binary event, the binary event goes positive. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's nothing to do with them. So I do think there's something to that today. Let's get to it. Let's go through these. I'm going to do it super quick so I get to everybody today. Jacob coming in first. Teva. I like Teva a lot. I always have a hard time trying to understand why Teva wasn't breaking out. So, I'm going to make you laugh. I had this in a real long-term account. I don't even look at it, dude. But this makes so much sense to me. Um, I gotta be honest, like I haven't even been watching it. But when they came out and said that they were going to start making generic drugs for the fat loss stuff, it just made so much damn sense, dude. And I couldn't believe that the stock didn't go up on it. The stock was like 18 bucks and it just stayed there. But yeah, I mean, this is a no-brainer. Like literally a no-brainer. They want to get drug prices down. Okay, you want to get drug prices down? Okay. I mean, how are you going to do that? I don't know. Maybe a generics company. Like, where's that generics company based? Like, it's not this again. It's not rocket science. Like, don't overthink it. Um, I totally think that makes a ton of sense, bro. A ton. Born from Tokyo. Maybe I should go to Tokyo. FBT. ETF at the high. 30 names equal weight. I don't like equal weight. Equal weight's it's like communism for stocks. Arca Biotech. I don't know. How you doing? How you doing here? Everybody's equal. All right. Let's go. Let's get to it. I don't know. Like, why would I buy this over buying XBI? Like, why would I buy that over buying XBI? I don't know. Or LABU. Or if I wanted to really be in it, why wouldn't I buy ARCG? Well, probably because ARCG sucks. I mean, Jesus, she's really bombing here, isn't she? I don't know, dude. I don't like the equal weight stuff. I really don't. I'm not knocking it, but to me, it's like, is it outperforming it? Is it outperforming XBI, dude? It's not. So, I mean, for November it is, which is kind of interesting because that means you're getting a broad-based rally in biotech, right? Like if that's going to outperform in November, then you're getting a broad-based rally in biotech, or else that wouldn't outperform. That's interesting. My mother says I have the voice of an angel. You're welcome. 6.7%. I don't know, man. I still like the XBI, but I could see why it came to your attention. But I still like the XBI better. I tried once. I forget where I tried. I think it was like here. And it was just so angry. It just like smoked me. Or it was like this breakout. And then I got the reversal. I got crushed. Crushed in this thing on the LABU side. That big trade on too. Yeah, I think it was this. I'm like, oh, this thing finally is going to break out. Like, finally, here we go. Womp, womp. We did not break out. We actually came back to that 109 and now we're pushing. So this thing's just vicious. Widowmaker, man. Absolute widowmaker. But if you can catch it, I wonder if that was it too, wasn't it? Oh, so obvious after the fact, isn't it? Isn't technical analysis so obvious after the fact? But the Tevas are going to be a beast, dude. That's going to be a beast for years, I think, with the new admin. FedEx, and app. Let's do FedEx and app. So I do. Here's what I think happens. I think these names like FedEx and UPS all get a bounce on the fact that these tariffs are going to get thrown out. So I do think that they could bounce. I do think that's out there. The APP, you're just trying to catch a falling knife. I wouldn't be doing it. Like, just let it burn, man. I don't try to catch that. to me, there's no way that you're not getting back down to 550. Like I'm blowing through every single level like it's nothing. And you know, you don't have anything of consequence till 550 now, like nothing. And I actually think they're going to walk that down. But when you have charts like this, I'll clean it all off. We can start over. But when you have charts like this, dude, and I'm going to have to be super, I got to go at 9 today. I got a lot on the plate, guys. I got a lot on too. But you see how that control bar, like how you're in that completely? You want to watch that, John. Like you really want to pay attention to that. What do you got for me? Thanks, buddy. You definitely want to watch that, dude. So, like, you're not really breaking out of that, are you? Let's go overlay. And now we're breaking the 55. Someone asked me the other day, like, if I want to buy this, I asked them if they don't love themselves. Like, why would I want to do this to myself? Like, I think there'll come a time. I just don't think you're there. Hold on. Let's take a look at it. Like, I don't think you're there yet, man. I'd be saying, like, all right, come back down to here, set an alert. When you get there, wake me up, and let's see if you hold. But when you're this vicious and you want to stand, and you want to stand in front of it, I'd be on the other side of it. Actually, I might actually look at selling calls on that today. How expensive are those calls? They're probably still insanely expensive, right? Are they insanely expensive? You probably don't sell calls, John. You probably are smart. Unlike me, who likes a little danger. Danger's my middle name. All right, let's go. Come on. They're really cheap. You're better off buying puts. 1 month. Wow. The implied vol is under the historical vol. You're actually better off buying puts. Didn't see that coming. That's a twist. All right. I'd be on the short side of that. What's up, brother? I actually think that, yeah. I mean, there's two names that, like, to me during earnings, I was like, oh, you're the leader. Like I read a massive report on Amazon. And there's no doubt in my head. As a matter of fact, the more I talk about it, the more giddy I'm getting thinking about it. There's no doubt in my mind that Amazon you want to own. There's no, like, to me, like, you should do what you're comfortable with. But there's two names that, like, stood out to me like a ton of bricks. And one was Amazon. I'm just checking my positions here. Give me a sec. One that stood out to me, like, just wasn't even a question, was Amazon. Like, it's not even a question of whether or not, it's not even a question of it. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's just not even anything about whether or not that I should be in that name when I read that report. But, you got to take a long-term outlook with these kinds of things, guys, because, with these kinds of names, I find scaling into it, having like something like an Amazon, if you really look at it, I find scaling into it and having like a multi-year kind of thing very helpful. If you're trying to day trade it, you usually get torn up on this kind of stuff. But I think that Amazon's going a lot higher. I don't think people truly understand how far ahead Amazon is on AWS than even like Microsoft is. I don't think people have a freaking clue, but that's always the case. So, yay, money. What's up, buddy? I'll make sure it goes to St. Jude's. BBAI. Got a bunch of people trading that one. Premarket. Didn't you rally yesterday and then like fall apart? Let's mock it up. Go take a look at it, man. Your options imploded. So any kind of hedge there makes sense, but you have a massive, massive freaking call wall here, dude. Like it's massive. Like picture Gandalf standing up here saying you shall not pass. We'll go through some other data real quick. I don't know that you're going to break the 5.5 level too. And that's really where like there's a put wall down there. I don't know that you're going to break that, but that's you're wedged. There's nothing about this that's sexy. So like you're bidding up today. If I was net long, I'd already be selling it. Like I'd be selling into that level. That's what I would be doing. You should do what you're comfortable with. But like if I was net long this, I'd want to reduce here so that when it rolls back down, I could buy more. What do I think of the quarter? I think the quarter was pretty freaking fantastic. How much is baked into it? You know, we're going to have to say. But yeah, I mean, I thought the quarter was pretty fantastic. It moved the most of any of the names that night, but you can see like your range, right? When you get moves like this, the primary move, you just want to watch how you're going to act to that. You can have your support level right here at the 6, but that call wall was just, and I think they're going to burn them off. Like if you go and take a look at all of those, which you probably don't have access to, or maybe you do, but if you go look at the book, hold on one second here. What are you doing? If you go and take a look at the book, the majority of those options, like the majority of those, you know, they were buying puts, like a lot of puts, and like 2-to-1, they were buying puts. So, and the calls, when you really look at it, they were rolling them out. So they're buying like the 7s, but they're going out like 2 years, like to 27 on it. So, well, I guess that's 18 months now. So I keep that in mind. All right. That's kind of how I see that. What's up, Mon? I think all those names are starting to shape up. XOM, I think they're all really starting to shape up. I don't think there's much more to say or do about it. You'd think they'd bounce, but I think that whole space is starting to get interesting. I really do. Which makes you wonder why. You know, like why? Like why would anybody care? Like what are you doing here with this? They're fading the heck out of that. They're rocking that. They're rocking that. And then you're just going to kind of chill here and see how this goes. But that's kind of where my head is with it. All right, cool. No stream today. Oh, it's on. It's always on. Well, I think that what you have to think about is not only are you going to need more memory with quantum, but you're going to need more storage. So you have more drivers than people think you have with AI and memory and storage. If you ask any of those companies, this is what I thought was so fascinating, even about like NBIS call yesterday, right? Like I understand they're doing a secondary, they're doing bonds, so everybody's panicking, right? Like, oh, like I got it. But they have no capacity. So they have to build out capacity. Like they have no capacity. Like if somebody went to them and said, I want to buy blah, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, bro, we don't have any capacity. Like imagine selling pens and you don't have any pens. Like, no, we sold all our pens. Well, you'd want more pens. Like it's not rocket science. So when they did that offering, they just did the offering shady. Like they should have done the offering, I believe that unless I missed it, but the offering should have been done the same time they did the conference call. But you know, for me, in looking at it, the way that they're seeing it is everyone's like, they're all worried about sales for like next quarter. There's nothing left. There's nothing left to sell. So they're like, oh, well, you didn't take your 25 numbers up. There's nothing left to sell. So like now what they have to do is go out there and expand. And the only way they're going to expand is to go out there and do something where they raise capital. And I just don't think that was explained accurately yesterday. I think that's why it came in. But I really like this name a lot. I think people are going to look back at this and go, I can't believe I could have bought this at Axe. That's kind of where my head is, but you should do what you're comfortable with. But if you think about it from a memory standpoint, you're fighting two fronts now, right? Like, so let me get this straight. Quantum computing is going to crunch all these numbers, right? All these numbers it's going to crunch, but you're not going to want to keep any of that data. It's going to run thousands and thousands of permutations. This is thousands, and when I do this with my hands. But the point I'm getting at is you're not going to want to keep any of that data. Of course you are, right? Because now you're going to be computing data even faster. So you're going to have even more crap to store. Like think about all the crap you have on your desktop. So like if you just think about it that way, I don't know, man. Like what names? All of them. You want a name that's misunderstood, bro? I'll give you one. You go look at this name. We were screwing around with this thing at 14, and this name's completely misunderstood. We actually were buying this thing in here. We actually traded it out. I didn't own it for this pop, but this completely misunderstood. You want to go see what name's going to benefit from quantum? Maybe the one that the only US based foundry that's making quantum chips. Maybe start there. I don't know about brilliant. I think my ex-wife would disagree with brilliant. What's up, John? I keep thinking that too, bro. And it keeps going lower. So I keep thinking that too. I think we're going to get a crack. There's my level. You can see it. Look at it. But, I ran the numbers the other day. I think you're at like 115 on the NAV. So what do we get to? Do we get to 1 times NAV again? I'll buy it at 1 times NAV. I actually really want to buy it. It's just not working. I'm actually making more money just shorting this, to be honest with you. I just short this. I started again at like 13. It's been working like a charm. I'll be shorting this one today, I think. These things are just money when you start learning how they're calculated. You want to look at that chart, brother. You're in the community, right? You're in the community. Go look at the thing I posted in observations, dude. You want to look at home builders. Energy names, I think, are great. I think you have to watch. What just dropped? I think you have to watch. It's freaking apples. Give me a sec here. 1 second. Hold on. No. You could, but it's not worth it. Unless you got that, then it might be worth it. You have to learn how these things are calculated. You got to watch the EQQQ in those levels today, guys. You really do. I own Wayfair. Google's going to be a beast, Laurent. I posted. Go back and look. It is rocket science. It is rocket science. I actually own that. Oh, thank you. I wasn't aware of that. Was it bad? Oh, good Lord. Welcome to the wonderful world of biotech. What's their cash position? Anybody know that off the top of their head? Let's ask them internets. $5. Trading 2 times cash. Do you have any earnings at all? No earnings. You're trading 2 times cash. And give me 1 second. Let me go in this other thing. Let me pull up tangible book. $9 is tangible book. So you stopped at tangible book if you're trying to figure out where to buy it. You don't want to buy intangible book. You want to buy tangible book. I'm not really surprised by that. Core Weave, the dog ate my homework, is just wrong, man. Like, oh, we didn't know that the physical locations weren't going to be up. Like, bro, you didn't go to the job site? Like, it makes so little sense. I don't even think they understand how dumb they sound. Like, I watched that guy on Bloomberg. I'm like, man, I don't know. We're starting to do better with China, right? Things are starting to get better with China. So like they reduced their rare earth stuff so we can get antimonum now and all that. So, oh God, so they're done. Yeah, that's not good, dude. PLTR, I would trade. I don't know. They'd be going nuts with it. Rocket Labs, I think, can do very well. You know, it's so funny watching people get upset about with RKT, people getting upset about the like the 50-year mortgage. Like, no one's forcing you to get a 50-year mortgage, bro. So, but you know, if you're going to get a 50-year mortgage and then you go make the payments like it's a 30-year mortgage and you put it towards the principal, you actually pay, like, your mortgage will be paid 4 years earlier. But what do I know? All right. I don't know. I don't know. You need more supply of housing. You're not going to get more supply of housing until rates drop. Candidly, you're just not going to get it. He raised rates too fast, man. Like, you have this whole sect of people that are locked into their mortgages. Like, they can't move even if they wanted to because they're getting 3% on their mortgage. Like, there's a whole slew of people. I think it's like 20% of people that own a house are at like 3.5 or 3.6. Like, they are never moving, man. Never. So I don't know. I think it's the home builders that benefit first. So, and then we'll go from there. All right, I got to jump. Trade to win today, guys. Make good choices.